gamers, thank you so much for watching my stream. Before you jump into this red hot action, let's review the rules. Don't be a dick. This should go without saying, but better safe than sorry. Chat with me. You know that I can talk at my computer for hours, but it's more fun when my computer talks back. And let's have a good time. I don't mind getting sweaty, but we can have fun while we do it. Use the chat command deck for a link to the list I'm playing here. It's also in the video description. Some of these decks are sick, and you might want to play them in real life. In that case, let me refer you to Hemel from the Bazaar. It's never been more affordable to play in the flesh and blood. Players have been buying the cards they need from Hemel for years. I started buying from him in 2023 and have never found a better deal. The Bazaar's prices are the lowest for singles, full sets, and class sets, including new releases. Super Slam singles and more are available now and ship both domestically and internationally. Use the command Hemel for contact info, then reach out to see what he can do for you. Now settle in and get cozy because the stream begins now. Oh my gosh. Thank you all for your patience. I was taking Bun outside for his morning walk, and it took a little longer, so I had to scramble to get everything set up. Thank you all for being here. Use command bday to see that it actually is not my birthday. Tomorrow is my birthday, but I'm not streaming tomorrow, so I had to lie to all of you. But you know, it's close enough. I'll give it to myself. So by popular vote, I am playing Cindra today. Get rid of you. It was going to be Kayo. Now it's Cindra. Which is good because I need reps with Cindra. I played it in my ProQuest yesterday. Really did not do very well. Went 3-3 at the end of a 6-round event. It was really the first time playing Cindra that I felt like I just didn't have any agency in the deck. Felt like between 3 wins and 3 losses, this hand is insane if I get to keep it. Between 3 wins and 3 losses, it was like I drew cards, I put them on the table. Whether they were good or not was not up to me. And that was not great. The erase face here is definitely annoying with the rake over the coals. The question is, can I play this hand anyway? And I think the answer is yes. I just won't be able to buy back my daggers. So I play Oath of Loyalty. I have to not play Oath of Loyalty. I can play Brand into Hot on Their Heels. I could even rake here. I will use my claw. Am I blocking the erase phase, or am I just setting this oath in arsenal for the next turn? I think I'm blocking with the oath, and I'm going to sit on the rake. And my plan is just brand, hot on their heels. The problem, if I play the oath, is I will be locked out of playing either of the brands, but I also can't play the brand and then the oath. So I'm going to block with Oath of Loyalty. I'll just send 8. I am not going to flick because I can't buy my dagger back. The dagger's not draconic when they're in my graveyard. And we'll just sit on this rake. The erase face there is really bad timing, but that is one of the ways that Florian beats Cindra, is by just having really well-timed disruption. So thankfully with this line, we do still get to threaten the on-hit from Hot on Their Heels. Florian probably wants to block anyway. I'm really not hopeful that either of these are going to hit. If I get 2 cards from Florian, that's fine. We're still looking to set up the rake over the coals. I could play it here for 2 value and send 4 cards, but it's a 4-card 10. I don't love keeping an arsenal against Earth Heroes because of Command and Conquer. Currently Florian can't decompose, but if he has Plow Under, like if he blocks with Earth, he can plow my rake over the coals away. We'll try not to keep an arsenal against Draconic heroes, but Earth heroes. But in this case, I'm fine to do it. So I went 3-3 in my ProQuest, and just felt like in my wins and my losses, the deck said, this is your turn, and I said, okay. And that just didn't feel good. And that's sort of Cindra. I feel like in the format now, there are 2 skill expressive aggro decks. And by skill expressive, I mean you are capable of outplaying your bad hands. That if you draw, in Cindra's case, 4 head jabs, you cannot do better than that. Is this showing up? How late is my stream? Interesting. You're on more of a delay. Or at least my... Weird. I'm going to assume that you're all watching, you're all seeing what I'm seeing. So by skill expressive aggro deck, I mean that you are capable of outplaying your bad hands. You draw 4 head jabs in Cindra. You're going to play 4 head jabs. You have no ability to affect how your opponent blocks, your Mask of Momentum triggers. You are just hoping that they can't interact with your 3 blocks and generally, or your 3 power attacks and generally they can. A skill expressive aggro deck would be something like Dash.io or Acilio, where you can look at a bad hand and you actually have a way to outplay your bad hand. You can set up based on things you did previously. You have something in your arsenal that lets you play around the fact that you drew 3 instants. Oh, this is great. You have something that says Dio can play around the fact that she drew 4 items. But with Cindra, there's very little chance that you actually got to set up around, okay. Ooh, and we even get a felling out of the deal. Their hand was Trod Along Canopy Cadaverous. I don't agree with their block here. Maybe they didn't realize that we're on Pouncing Links and not Momentum. But I would have thought block, send felling, but I'm happy to take it. Looking like I am going to probably just put Flight Path in front of this to make sure that I block with it. This turn is going to be Oath, Resentment, Blaze Headlong, pitch Ancestral Empowerment to Dagger. Some point earlier, flick the dagger, rebuy both daggers. And play the Rake Over the Coals just to get rid of it. This could be a turn where I set Ancestral Empowerment. I'd like to keep it. It's probably going to look to set it. This is an interesting spot. Might actually vest after I flick my dagger so I can buy back both daggers and then attack with the claw. It's an interesting spot because I'm trying to play around Face Purg, which I think Florian will give me after I Rake Over the Coals. Could also be a turn where I break Pouncing Links just to get my 6 from it. So Dio and Acilio do have this outplay potential. Aurora had that outplay potential. It was pretty rare in Aurora that you would draw 4 instants, but even if you did, you had ways to get around the fact that you had 4 instant. They were never just worth like, I play an instant, I attack with Starfall, I pass. It was always better than that. I'm not gonna break Pouncing Links. I'm gonna let Florian freak out about this hand for a bit. See if he wants to overcommit to blocking everything. Here we're getting the Face Purg, as I thought we would. We just discard Ancestral Empowerment, which I couldn't play anyway. I get to send Blaze Headlong next. We're gonna flick. So Aurora had this outplay, and I feel like I'm missing that because I don't want to play Acilio or Dio. I don't particularly like either deck. I think as opposed to Aurora, who did have, you know, power level going for her in a way that neither of those heroes really does. Aurora had this ability where even with 4 instants, her hands were never really that bad. Whereas Dash, you draw 4 items and you haven't set up properly, you just die. Do we want to mask here? I think I will. We'll grab a Lava Burst at this point. Actually, no, we won't. I screwed that up. We do flick. We don't Lava Burst because I'm going to attack with Claw, which doesn't have Go again, and I don't want to use my boots this turn. So I'm not using Pouncing Links. If I wanted to use my boots, I would for the Lava Burst and then give like Claw Go again and send Lava Burst, but I want to save my boots for my Wrath of Retribution. Using the Claw here is just I want to get 2 points out of my vest and I want to get an extra point out of my Rake. So Aurora had this outplay where she didn't also just draw dead hands that lose her the game. Acilio and Dio have less of that. Acilio and Dio also just fall over to Disruption more often. So I'm not interested in playing those heroes, which means that until we get a new Aggro Runeblade, maybe we get Viserai in Monarch 3, whatever Pen is, or we get Aurora in the first half of 2026, like LSS told us we would, I'm probably not going to focus on aggro decks for a while. It's something that I've sort of realized, like, I have locked myself into this, hey, we can make this work. We can make this Wrath turn work. It probably means we're breaking Mask of the Pouncing Links. If we want to just go, we would send Renegade, Resentment. If either of these hits, we break Pouncing Links for, I guess, Ignite is the only card that we can really pull from our deck and be happy about it. What I might do instead... Yeah, this is an awkward hand. Claw makes a lot of these hands awkward, where we can't flick the kunai, cheat a resource with Vest, use that resource to attack with Claw to then Lava Burst, because the Claw doesn't have Go again. We would need a second kunai. So what am I thinking I'm going to do with this hand? What I might do... Problem is Florian can decompose. We've seen one CNC, we haven't seen a plow yet. So what I could do... I think I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to kunai into Rising Resentment and I'll set the Wrath. And hope that Florian can't disrupt me. If I had a kunai, then I would go for a Flick Vest Lava Burst play and set the Wrath. But I just can't make it work and also keep a kunai for next turn, which I really want to do if I'm trying to set up Wrath. You're on your boat, makes me feel good I'm not the only one in the spot. Yeah, aggro just doesn't feel like where I want to be at the moment. There's no skill expression in a deck that I want to play. And so I will be playing Cindra for my Pro Quest next week. I don't feel like I have the reps, or I don't feel like I have the time to pick up what I would want to play, which is Verdance, who I think is not only the best deck in the format, but also a good mix of skill expression and also, depending on the matchup, some brainlessness. Block 2, send 2 into any aggro deck feels a lot better than the mental gymnastics I have to put together for Gravy. So I'll be playing Cindra. I don't have the time to learn Verdance. Post Pro Quest. Alright, this hand is insane if we get to... it's alright. If we get to keep it. So let's think about how we need to sequence here. We would want to attack with kunai, Rake, use a resource, display loyalty, Wrath. At some point we're going to have to use another Vest resource. I am not going to give my Claw because I want to set up my Wrath turn. It's unfortunate that we don't have Fealty, and it's unfortunate that I don't have a way to lead with display loyalty. I guess I could pitch Rake into Dagger, into display, into use Fealty for Rabble. This is a turn where I'm really looking to break Pouncing Links, and I'm looking to get Ignite. I was wondering, maybe this is not the Wrath turn. Maybe I'm supposed to sit on it. In which case I would Rake into kunai, into Rabble, into display loyalty, cheat a resource with Vest, hunt the Hunter. Yeah, we're going to sit on the Rake. I think this turn is going to pressure Florian off of disrupting me. Because the way to sequence with Wrath would be... It involves me pitching to a kunai, and I just don't want to do that on my Wrath turn. So just playing out the hand means that I get to set up a Fealty. We're going to send Rabble first. If the Rabble connects, I can break Mask to find Ignite. Nope, gets blocked out. Okay. So now we are going to send kunai. We'll get a resource into display loyalty, bank a Fealty, which is going to make setting up my Wrath turn on the next turn more easy. I'll even get to bank a second Fealty with Hunt the Hunter, Flick Knives. See what Florian wants to give for this? He's sitting on 3 cards. I'm kind of expecting that we're going to get some sort of disruption on this next turn. That's fine. No Vest. Let's Cindra here. Make my fealty. I guess I could also... I could break links, do flight path here, play the Wrath. Wrath into... No, that's not good. We're not going to do that. We get so much more with Wrath. I don't think this is... I think I can set up the Wrath turn. Like, I still have pouncing links. No. Like, I'm fine with this. If I get disrupted here, that's sad, but I have the fealties. I still have pouncing links for the 5-card hand. This is the Command and Conquer, so I lose the Wrath here. What does my hand do? My hand does Brand, Pain, Throw Dagger, Cheat a Resource, Dagger, Lava Burst. I can Lava Burst again. This is fine. Them having the disruption here is unfortunate, but I think this hand is just going to be good enough. Thank you, Yudo. Technically, tomorrow is my birthday, but I'm not streaming tomorrow, so I had to do it today. I can Brand here. I'll Flick Dagger to bait the Shelter, so that I can then respond to the Shelter with the Throw Dagger to flick the same dagger. Let's see if Florian's going to give me Shelter here. I'm sort of expecting that he will. There's the Shelter. We're the greatest player in the world. If Florian has second Shelter, then he's just the best Flesh and Blood player. I can't argue with him having second Shelter. But the way this interaction works is Shelter is going to cover the damn Haunting Rendition. All right, man. He's just the greatest player. As Florian has outskilled me. So how am I now playing out the rest of this turn? I could break pouncing links here. Find issues plow under felling. Against Earth, I just push and don't stop. When you push Rebel, you would send 24 damage turn without breaking pouncing links. Could be. Could be I was supposed to do it. Especially because we then got punished. With Mask, you could send 30. Yeah, I think I might be setting up too hard against Florian. Certainly possible. This is going to get covered by Grasp. Or not. Rootbound. Okay. Their first Decompose of the game. Let's see what 2-card nonsense they have. Sand is pretty good if I get to play it. There's Felling. Florian never doesn't have it. We're going to bottom Demonstrate Devotion here. I'll keep my Ancestral. Yeah, Lee, you could definitely be right. That I'm just not pushing hard enough against Florian. Or an aggro deck, only so much setup you can do against these overvalued Earth heroes. It's true. Come in with Rising Resentment. We're going to draw with the Ancestral. I just didn't want a Wrath on the turn where I have to also pitch to a dagger. Well, Grounded's fine. They're just trying to keep me off of... Oh, that's a good draw. Breaking my pouncing links. They shouldn't be able to stop me from doing it. I want to get Draconic links down. If Florian just blocks out, then I don't want to need to worry about not being able to buy back my daggers. Here I get to flick, clear the remaining prevention. I will break Pouncing Lynx here. Gonna grab a Lava Burst. Now I don't need to break my fealty for Rabble. Not long until Florian is gone, hopefully. I can't play these nuts. Yeah, Florian's pretty good. Turns out. Depending on how Florian blocks here, gives me 3. Do they have the reaction? They don't. I'm going to clear the arsenal. But yes, I do suspect that I've lost this game based on how much armor Florian has and how much health. And yeah, Lee, I think you're right. If I just play the Wrath there, then I'm in a much better spot. I don't get punished by the CNC. Florian takes more life. Well, they aren't online. Here's felling number 2. Yeah, this game does feel fairly over. Unfortunately. Is there a way that I can cheat this? I don't think so, without the ability to turn any of these online and without my claw. So I'm going to bottom Blaze Headlong. Probably can't win without Wrath. That's what it seems like, which is so sad because this matchup used to be really good for Cindra. And I feel like, again, being a low agency aggro deck, there's only so much that Cindra can really do to counter what Florian is doing. And meanwhile, Florians can tech as hard as they want for Cindra. This hand is also very bad without fealty. Was that a cat? Yeah. I do have a cat. I have 2 cats. He's around here somewhere. Wow, this hand without fealty is garbage. What does this hand do? This hand pitches to dagger, plays hot on their heels, needs the hot on the... Now, this hand blocks is what this hand does. Issues getting Wrath off is already hard enough, and it being defensive to save it, yeah. And we can't have the game go long against Florian. No, you're definitely right. Give the Claw here. I'll block the Plow. I will set the hot on their heels. Attack with the Ardo Dragon Blood. So after, I'll be practicing, going through my last pro quest, play Cindra, hopefully play better than I'm playing now. I shouldn't be losing to Florian. I should have gone for the Wrath turn. Then I will practice Living Legend very hard for 2 weeks before calling Philadelphia. Then after Living Legend is done, I will be splitting focus between Silver Age, which I think is a really cool format. I'm excited to play that out. And I will be focused on whatever the best deck is post any potential bans in November before Worlds and any potential bans afterwards based on how Worlds turns out. I fully expect Greyview or Verdance to win, assuming that whoever, whatever LL doesn't carry the format in top 8. Seeds life into... I know there's no felling left, into a Race Face. This I get to block. I get to ignite Demo Devo hot on their heels. The goods for the Calling Champion, so Acilio, you missed it. I am definitely not playing Acilio. I think Acilio lacks the power to justify having god-awful turns. Like in the hands of a skilled player, Acilio slaps. I'm not going to say that Acilio doesn't. I'm saying that I don't want to have to practice a deck with such a low floor to get to the point where I can achieve these ceilings. Like Aurora is just... Aurora set the bar for me. As far as I'm not going to keep playing this game out. I have lost. This is not fun or interesting. I need to not be in... Oh, it was a public game. Okay, great. Yeah, no, Lee, you're right. I was supposed to go for it there. I think it will help me as a whole, too. Play against Pleiades. This is not a real deck. Asylio doesn't have god-awful turns, though. Sigil, 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 Blink. That sounds pretty awful to me. Despite being a Guardian, I'm just going to stick with Mask of Momentum. What's my Pleiades sideboard? Just be aggressive? She doesn't super disrupt, does she? I'll pretend that this is a Rake matchup. Well, this hand is not amazing, but we'll push some damage. Damage check Pleiades, showing Oath of Loyalty on top, which means I am definitely going to arsenal this display loyalty. Triple Sigil sends your next turn to be 25. That's super sick. What happens when you get disrupted? Because you didn't pressure the, Earth Hero or Cindra with Breaking Point or Kayo with Arsenal Disruption off of their 5-card hand. I'm not saying it isn't possible. You have won your nationals. You've won ProQuest with Asylio. The deck is clearly... What is this? Ugh. The deck is clearly very strong in the hands of a skilled player. I just don't want to have to get to that point. I would rather play better, more mindless decks, like Verdant's. I want a skill expressive aggro deck. I want it to be aggro Runeblade. It's going to be Aurora or it's going to be new Viscerai. Now, that's unfortunate, but, it pitches to a dagger. It's just an experience problem. That's what I'm thinking. You can put in thousands of reps on Asylio like Yudo has and be very good with the deck, but I don't want to do that. Would I be insane to take Azalea to an LL event? Do you die to Warmongers followed up by a 30 damage turn from Zen? Can you block incoming damage? CNC for 6. Yeah, we'll just cover this. This is fine. Maybe I was supposed to keep Hot on their heels instead of Burning Blade Dance. Ultimately, I don't think it matters. Depending on how Pleiades blocks, I might just sit on the last card. We're going to go Oath of Loyalty into display. This is probably a Lynx matchup because of To Be Continued. They keep it around forever instead of what happens next. Thank you, Steven. I'm sorry that you only made top 4 yesterday. I'm also sorry that Austin didn't win so that we now all have to kill each other again. That's a deal. I'm going to block my Oath of Loyalty, so then I do get to threaten Mask of Momentum still. A lot of things can be fixable, but not all. There's a lot of very bad hands and variants. It's a card game, don't worry about it. I feel like Asylio and Dio both fall over to their variants too often. You have to go on such a good run to win an event compared to a Verdance who can kind of just do whatever. We'll throw the Burning Blade Dance here. I'm not going to sit on the arsenal. I'm going to take another card from Pleiades. I also get to now flick and buy back my daggers. Maximizing flick value against blocky decks like Guardian is always very good. Really hoping for Bolton 2 and Monarch. I mean, I would love for Bolton 1 to also get some help. Probably if there's a Bolton 2, but I'd also point to the Hunted and say, well, Phi didn't really get much help from Cindra being a thing. Don't mind getting Cries of Encore. Currently nothing that great in Banish. Usual 3 or more Hours of Suspense. So this is just 4. I guess I will give my Flight Path in case I go for the thing where I get to do Brand Rising, Dragonfire, Lava Burst. Probably just Arsenal the Lava Burst instead, but there's a world where I go for big damage. I think Asylio's variance is a bit oversaturated, but compared to Verdance, it's more, of course. I think that's reasonable. But yeah, it comes down to actual reps playing the game. I reflected and know exactly the 2 decisions that cost me my semifinals match in ProQuest yesterday. Look at Majin, that dude is on a streak. Majin's on a streak. Eric Dauernheim, Eric Sneep on our team won Guadalajara and the ProQuest Plus the next day with Verdants. Our local Verdants, I'll flick here, keep the chain alive, and test whether I'm going to be able to vest. Let's Rising Resentment. I am going to try to cheat the resource, which is just going to let me attack with a dagger if this hits. There's a world where I was supposed to send Rising Resentment first and then Brand and then Dragonfire. But if this hits, I get to banish Dragonfire. Which I will do. You have a 1-block that would break your pedestal. You have boards. This would cheer you. I'll send the dagger here. I'm not overly concerned. If I get equipment from Pleiades, it's equipment that she won't have. Mask of Momentum is still on. I have to break fealty here. Don't close the chain. Play Dragonfire. This is going to do 2. This threatens a Mask of Momentum. Depending on the draw, I'll break Flight Path. Bolton 1 is beyond the point of no return, Lupine. He shall be forgotten and lost to the sands of time. But what do you think about Rhinar with Beat Chest that is also charging the soul? If you have less life, the crowd cheers you. It's pretty good. So that gets blocked out. We're going to Cindra. I am not going to break boots. I'm just going to Arsenal this Lava Burst. And if Pleiades has another CNC, damn, that sucks. This hand is good. This hand does the thing. Sick. That's a deal. I will take 4. Is Aurora your favorite deck of all time? Absolutely. Aurora's... God, she was so fun. She was obviously very broken. Hungry for more? Okay. She was obviously very broken. Like, it's hard to compare Aurora and Acilio, which I do anyway because they're similar. They're both lightning heroes that play with instants. But, like, part of the reason that Acilio is not as good as I want to give him credit for is, like, because he isn't Aurora, and Aurora was just cracked. Yeah, I don't know that this Pleiades deck is the nuts. It's weirdly, like, kind of fatiguey, but playing 60 cards and it just seems a little unfocused. I mean, you've played the deck way more than I have. Is Pleiades the Fatigue Guardian? I feel like if you're trying to fatigue someone, you would just play Victor. But yeah, we get the, new Rhinar spoilers, and you can beat chest. You can also charge your soul on Brute. How fun is that? Are you going to create toughness tokens? Sick. I have 3 attacks, so I am in the fortunate position of not needing to flick to keep my momentum chain alive. I can just reset. I agree Aurora was mega fun. And bro, her floor was a bit too high, but you could smell a great Aurora player from a mile away, and she was very, very amazing beat if the format was so good. People tried to make her as she was kind of mid. So I agree, Aurora was just fun. Like, that was the other thing she had going for her that I haven't experienced with Acilio or with Cindra. Slippy was the same, where they were, like, good, but they weren't fun. And Aurora was fun. Aurora did fun things. She was very broken, which made her fun. Like, sometimes you just get to play a 4-card 18, and that's very fun. But there was sequencing to consider. There were neat little tricks that you could do that took advantage of people not having good reps against Aurora. Like, she was just, and that doesn't exist. I think that's pretty strictly a Runeblade thing in my experience. Runeblades tend to be very fun. Aggro Runeblades in particular. So Monarch 3 maybe. Aurora Mirrors were amazing. Aurora Mirror is probably the most fun I've had playing Flesh and Blood. This hand is insane. How do I sequence this? I'm pitching Throw Dagger to Kunai's because of Rake. This is worth 4 at minimum. I think we're just doing Dagger, Dagger, Ronin, Brand, Flick by... I mean, I could even Flick buy back the Dagger. This hand is nuts. Rhino gets to Intimidate, which is better than most of Bolton's charge payoffs. Like, yeah, but it feels very gold is the payoff in Olympia, where, okay, you Intimidate, but you still spent a card, which is not great. I can agree that the mirrors were so skill expressive. Once we all figured out that you had to be on AB1 with Tunic, it became so much more interesting of like trying to soul read your opponent, where you play Burn Up Shock or you have Channel Lightning out and your Tunic is up and you want to work a Starfall into your turn, and you have to say like, is this where I'm supposed to, do you have the Channel Sigil and I need to sit on my Tunic trigger for that, or am I supposed to use the Tunic to get my value? It was so fun. What have you done? You didn't pitch into boards. You're gonna block 6 on this, and I get to flick to keep my chain alive, and I get to decide if I'm going to vest Kunai Cindra, get 2 more, but go to 0 daggers. I could also break my flight path here. Send the same Kunai. This should work. You get to do Brand. We figured with my PT buddy you were supposed to be AB1 Carapace. I disagree with that. I think the free resource from Tunic was way too good. And I guess there's also just the thing that Bolton's hero text is flawed. The thing with the hero text is like, I'm gonna get greedy. We're gonna flick here. I am going to vest. Going to flight path my Kunai. We're gonna Kunai hunt. Sadly, Florian is not one of those kinds of rune blades. Florian isn't that kind of rune blade. Vincent is not that kind of rune blade. So I think Bolton's hero text is really good. Like, giving free go again is just super strong. Okay, I trust I played for like 60 games, which is not a lot of mostly mirrors. I mean, there was just a ton of ways that you could build Aurora and play Aurora. Like, you had Brian Lorenz's deck, and all of Team Stroop was playing Reaping Blade in their 80 for CYB New, and they were trying to fatigue CYB New, and I never felt like I really needed to do that. I felt like I could just play normally, and New was favored, and CYB New was favored too, because you could just take advantage of the fact. I love when my opponent has 3 toughness and then doesn't use any of it. You could take advantage of CYB New just drawing these hands that didn't block. Like, I remember I beat a CYB New in a Pro Quest because I had CLV, 2 CLVs and Snatch as my last chain link, and the New's 2 remaining cards were double CYB, and so he just let me draw 3 cards. Spinal for 9, you say? Sure. With confidence even? Sure. No Tunic, so no Pummel. I was kind of mid-range on her on Purgatory in most matchups. That shit was so cracked. I never liked Purgatory in Aurora because you had to play blues. I didn't want to play blues in my aggro deck, which I guess is another reason that I might not like Acilio so much. I know that you're never pitching the blues, you're always playing the blues, but 0 for 4 dot deck on 0 blues most of the time was just so fun. When you never got punished for not having a blue, or you would play 3 blues because they were whatever the good one was. It wasn't Sigil. You'd play Written in your Flicker matchups against like Guardian, where you really had to go wide. You needed to set that shit up. Vincent is Omega cool. I disagree with that. I think she has to bend over backwards too much to even do anything remotely interesting. Recent card says choose what you want, fill up your banish, activate your hero text. Very good card. Sadly better for Chain and LL. I think Vincent can either play mid-range or combo style. Sometimes you just burst a Guardian to 1 in a single turn. Yeah, she can do cool things. I don't know. Vincent was never my jam. Never something I wanted to play around with. I could have Arsenal this Blaze Headlong instead of the 5 cards. I guess I immediately don't get punished because they block with a CNC. I get to make a second fealty. We still have 2 Rakes in the deck. I'm just chilling. Hey, it's a Rake. Hey, we have a Wrath. So I'm just taking 9. How does this hand function? This hand goes Pitch to Dagger, Rake, Fealty Pain, Wrath, Flick, Cindra, Dagger, Dagger. Deal. Only reason I try LL would be Chain. He looks really cool. I'll be playing Viserai for LL, or at least practicing Viserai. And Viserai also has like super cool turns. You get to be really interesting with how you set up for your big pop-off turn. Like you can either just play hand-to-hand to do cool things with like mini Mordreds and Revels, or you can do what Nick Tran did, where you get to just stack 18 rune chants until you eventually find your Sonata for your big Scalata turn. When I played against Mara, I was told by her that Vin is the hardest deck in the game. She truly believes that, so does Brody, based off what we spoke about, hence why I never played it. What blues do you think about for Acilio? If I was going to play Acilio, I would just play whatever Yudo's playing. Like, I'm not gonna rock the boat on that. I do not want to add a Stain counter. I want to play my Wrath of Retribution. I guess you know how I was supposed to do this? I was supposed to do Fealty Pain for 3, get blocked for 3, Rake over the top, poke with my dagger, make a resource. To cheat out the Wrath, I can then play the brand. No, that doesn't... There's weirdness there. What do you do? Okay, nothing. Acilio, only 5-star deck in the game. Play Hungry for More, 6, so you're just going to take 7 more damage this turn and die. Because I get to Rake Wrath you. Blitz Vis, turn 1 consistent kill, it was insane. Yeah, Viserai seems really fun. Starvo seems kind of underwhelming from what I've seen, where a lot of the time you just, like, weirdly, compared to Full Power Chain and Vis, and even Zen sometimes, you're just not doing anything, like, broken. You do cool stuff, but you don't do anything that's, like, over the top. I shouldn't say that. You are doing broken things because it's LL. Everyone's doing broken things. But you can't OTK anyone. Is that the Acilio Yudo? Is that the Marlon Crawford? Oh no, it's Dorinthia. Momentum. That. D-reacts. More D-reacts. Do I need blues? Do I need 60 reacts? Can I set up? I'm not super sure how to play against Dory. Let's just try going like balls to the wall and see what happens. I don't think this is what I'm supposed to do, but it is what I'm going to do. The problem with Bolton is people can just put a D-react or the like and block with that first. You lose your turn unless you have a pump. No, for sure. Like, Bolton's got problems. I'm not saying Bolton's fine. I have Dorinthia is just going to put cards into their Dawnblade, and then I'm going to say, why yes, I would like to block 10. And if you have Twinning Blade, that's really good. Dynamo Dawnblade? What am I looking at here? Giving up any of those cards actually feels pretty fine because this hand was mostly non-functional. Like, it did things, but I wasn't happy about any of the things it did. Which is... This hand is actually pretty good. Weirdly. Rake being able to turn on Blaze Headlong isn't an interaction I've really had yet. This is the first time I get to turn on Blaze with Rake, and then I get to Breaking Point too, which is kind of cool. My opponent doesn't even get to interrupt what I'm doing with Kabuto. We're up tremendous. Did Dory choose to go first in this game? That's 100% wrong, by the way. If you're playing Dorinthia, you should be going second against Cindra, against any aggro deck, because of what I got to do, which was just block out on turn 1. Going to the calling in Seattle in December, I'm not. I mean, maybe things change and I do go. I've been on 3 international trips this year for Flesh and Blood, and that drains the bank account, is the big problem. Like, it's just, it costs so much to travel internationally. You presented 65. Okay, so you're fatiguing me with Dawnblade? Is that good? Has someone played this hero? Is that what they're supposed to be doing, is fatiguing me? Well, I'm glad I put Rake in. I'm less glad that I only ran 60. And that I'm only on 3 blues instead of slightly more than that. That's interesting. I can flick. No. Get my dagger back. Sick. I am not breaking mask here because I need to block with my boots first. Jesus. This hand does dagger, brand, flick, Cindra, dagger, lava burst. This attacks if its base is higher. I will allow you to make a courage. And a vigor, I guess. Dagger. And I guess I'm arsenaling this throw dagger. No. Thank you, Plague Hive. Technically, it's tomorrow. I know. I lied to everyone. Technically, it's tomorrow. But I will not be streaming tomorrow, so I had to get it in while I could. We'll flick. No. I don't need to Lynx here. Cindra. Get both daggers back. I guess I could throw dagger this kunai on the lava burst. I don't know how committed I am to keeping this throw dagger in arsenal, considering that I'm not on momentum. I think the answer is not very. I'll allow it this once. Thank you. Appreciate that. I guess I was supposed to block the Dawnblade with Flight Path there. Sometimes fatigue is what Dory wants to do because she can't race you. I wish she'd try, though. I want to race her. Take it on the chin. There's got a pretty spicy one coming up. That's pretty spicy. I'm pretty priced into not blocking here. 6 go again? I guess I could put 11 in front of this and hope it works out. That is 1 Singing Steel Blade. I don't believe I've seen the 2nd Singing Steel Blade. I just random queuing on Talishar? Yes. What does this hand do? This hand blocks with Ancestral Empowerment and then sends 4, 7, 10, 13, 18, 19 damage. It actually just arsenals Ancestral. Hit on the chin could have prevented throw dagger denying a card. Sure, this was wrong. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know what I would have done if I was them, if I would have played take it on the chin in front of the flick kunai. I feel like that was the line. Well, not really, because I pitched a blue, so I have the resources. Yes, I agree with you. Oh, there was the twinning blade. You have bolters, or you don't have bolters. Yeah, this is fine. A bunch of stuff happens. I'll take 11 there and give the Dawnblade a counter. Bank some Vigors, that's all right. Play Oath. I wish I could bank a Fealty here so that I could Ancestral. First chance I get, I am breaking Pouncing Links. This is the turn where I want to do it, and I don't want to walk into a spot where Dory takes 4 here and then goes block 3, block 3, block 3. If she wants to just give me her hand, that's fine. Yes. Let's grab my last Lava Burst. Especially good because I don't want to draw that later and then not have a finisher in my deck. Who's excited for Silver Age? I played none of Project Blue because it wasn't a real format yet, and I didn't want to devote time to it without knowing that LSS was going to support it in the future. I'm going to vest. I'm going to flick this kunai. Now, I'm still going to flick the kunai, but we will not be vesting. I never played any Project Blue. It wasn't a real format yet. I didn't want to commit time without knowing that LSS was going to support it. But I love budget formats. I thought Pauper, and depending on what you wanted to call it in Magic, Artisan, of the like uncommon plus format. I thought it was super cool. I love budget formats. I think they're really fun and interesting. I like lower power formats, despite loving Aurora. I generally like lower power decks. I didn't like Zen just because I thought he was too strong. But I'm really excited for Silver Age. I'm also really excited that it's just very accessible. I'm taking all of this damage. I'm going to block with Fight Path. Pain in the backside is going to be able to cheat a Vest, which is going to cheat a Kunai, which will let me play Display to make a Fealty. I'm taking all of this damage and saying, Dory, you can't kill me from 23. I'm sure she can come close. I've yet to play Silver Age. I'll do it eventually. Pauper from MTG was fun. It's also funny you bring up MTG. I think playing MTG hurt me now as they don't correlate. I was so uninterested because Cecilia is missing like 62 cards, but Icelander has me fired up. I think I can build her from shelf. I've never played her. Did you play a second one? Oh my god. What's your finisher? Do you have one? Did you just like react and kill me? Surely, okay, great. I will be back in like 5 seconds. See, I came back. My Roomba is about to go off. Okay, I am not going to pitch the Kunai. Thank you, Flesh and Bad. Technically, it's tomorrow, but I'm not streaming tomorrow, so I lied to you all. I am not going to pitch to Dagger because of Dynamo. I'm going to play this Pain in the Backside instead. We will Ancestral. Second Display is sick. Poke you with this. Yes, I will make a resource, which means I get to Kunai, which now will hit. The reason I need to Kunai here is so that I can put a Draconic Link on the chain for Wrath. Now I can display. This is going to be Draconic Chainlink 2. I can Ancestral either one of these. I guess I'll Ancestral the first one, just to see what I draw. That's pretty good. Let's... I don't really need to flick here. Play the display, third Chainlink. Because the Wrath will let me go Dagger, Flick, Cindra, Dagger, Flight. Eventually a Dagger will hit, and that'll get me my resource for Demonstrate. I don't need to flick now. I can withhold information. I don't think I get punished for this. Wrath just ends the game. Dorinthia is going to give me 2 cards. She'll block here. I guess she'll block a Dagger. Like this one, and then die to Flick, Cindra, Dagger, Flight Path, Dagger. This Cindra is cooked, 100%. This Cindra is washed is what this is. Kunai Flick. Yes. No. Lock there, give you Demonstrate. Do you react? No. Oh, it was the Singing Steel Blade. We got him. Yeah, that turn was pretty insane. Lee, you were right. I should just play Wrath. Florian sees Felling, plays Felling. I should just see Wrath, play Wrath. Yeah, that was a pretty spicy turn. We love to put those together. Dash is awesome. Has, I think you queued up with the wrong hero, my friend. Play as if you were Dash, which means I am boarding in Warmongers, which is relevant against Puffin, not playing D-React. I could, like, play Rake in as much as Puffin is not going to disrupt my arsenal, but I also don't have time to put Rake together, and sometimes I need to block Puffin. It's just that easy. Wrath is fair, and on rate, it's 1 copy. There's 1 copy of Wrath. Cindra gets to do her one unfair thing. Unless I'm talking to Tegan, in which case, yes, she also has Flick Knives. Which is definitely an unfair thing. Let's give you all the bday command. I'll put this in my, my title, which I can definitely do. So that you'll all know today is not my birthday, and I lied to all of you. Tomorrow is my birthday. B. Save. There, now you'll all know that this is a command that you are capable of using. This hand is a hand of cards. And it's not great. Get to that later. Oh. Cool. Alright. 100% win rate into Puffin for the day. Clearly, Puffin sucks, and Cindra's goated. To Kayo, oof. Well. Surely this is a momentum matchup. Rakes, because we're high rolling. Play 0 blues because I don't want those. Insane Cindra speedrun, so true. I get to maybe... oh no, I equipped the wrong daggers. We're done. Give you... Claw, I guess. This doesn't matter. No, I don't want to stay in counter. I do want to flick. No. Hot on their heels. Ancestral. Lava Burst is pretty good. Hope that Kayo just can't block this. Oh my god, we're so up. That's... Oh, we have a fealty? Okay, never mind. I'm like, oh, maybe I should arsenal the Lava Burst because the Dragon Blood is not going to be as good. Buy back my dagger. Allow Kano to keep their potion. This hand goes nuts. Alright, let's see if we're dead to Kano. Spindle off the top is pretty good. I have to give my claw if they spindle with amp. I have been specifically warned by Majin. I mean, I guess I'm going to spell void this. I've been specifically told by Majin Bay, whatever you can do to not let Kano spindle for 5, do it. Whatever is in your power. Pitch whatever. Pitch your critical card to AB1 so they don't spindle for 5. Because spindling for 5 says I get to make my next 4 cards whatever I want. My next 4 card hand is whatever into potion. The 5th card is always the top card of their deck, which they are always now guaranteed to Kano into. So yeah, we this spindle was only for 4. You potion. Oh, okay. Deal. Oh, and today's all right, but they don't get an arsenal, so we're feeling pretty okay about this. And then yeah, as I said, this hand is nuts. Sequencing matters? Question mark. Cindering foresight. Sorry. Do some things. Can you confirm Majin is correct? Got blasted by Kano. The one game that I just disrespected it, 1 card on top, 2 cards on bottom. He just like blew me up. It was insane. He's like, yep, and that's why you don't do that. Like, oh, yeah, that tracks. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I have to do it this way. I'm not familiar enough with this line of play to know that I need to respond to the Ignite. Alright, it all worked out anyway. We will dagger here. Give Kano the opportunity to block. I am going to vest because I will at some point buy back my daggers and then I can claw at the end of this turn. I also just have a resource up now in case I rip a 1 cost off this brand. That's fine. I'm actually threatening lethal here, which is pretty cool. I invite this Kano to try to kill me with 3 cards. We are now threatening lethal on Kano. I have my Cindra activation to buy back my... I was supposed to flick on this chain link so that I have 2 dagger slots open in case Kano goes for it. I'm not convinced that he can kill me with 3 cards and no E-Pot, but he's certainly welcome to try. There's also a chance that he is just disconnected. And we're going to sit here for a minute until I can claim victory. So this was pretty good. Lee, you were right. We board in Rake against Kano just for the high roll. Got a Kano activation on the stack. I mean, yeah, surely he just has to go for it, right? Pitching a yellow. Love to see it. Okay. All right. Sonic Boom, you got it. Into Flare. It's a good start. Flare for 3. Surely that's fine. Blind Kano into there's literally nothing. Yes, I would like my counter. I think Austin would have had a hernia if you heard how many times someone was right. That was pretty good. That's what we like to see against Kayo, is where we just roll the shit out of them with an insane turn 1 into turn 2 combo. Yeah, that was, you know, it was pretty okay. Second Cindra, oh no. Lee, it's time. We're putting it into practice. This is what we worked on. Got shelters. Why do I have 63 cards? Fire and Brand isn't supposed to be here? Right, because I was boarding out cut-throughs, but I now have Pain in the backside instead. That is a fine opening card. Depending on whether Cindra pitches to daggers, I will discard the shelter so that I don't have to block anything. It also denies Cindra the free flick value. I also now get to block 3s with these 2s. What do I want to keep in this hand if I get to keep anything? Demo Devo is pretty good. I believe I'm supposed to take 1 here, much as I don't want to. I don't want to block with my flight path because I want to save it for a dagger. Giving display here feels bad, but I do want to keep these 2 if I can, because they are like kind of starters. Fire Tenant into Blaze is how I get my Draconic starter. You know, happy birthday, I did not know we're October brothers. I had just had my birthday 2 days ago. Technically my birthday is tomorrow, but I'm not streaming tomorrow. And I'm also planning to stream Wednesday. We'll see if that happens. And I'll also call that a birthday stream. This hand is a little tragic because I don't get to go 3-3-4. I have to go 3-5-3. But we'll see if this Cindra knows the tech of not blocking anything ever. We're so in. We got him. I have to follow up with Blaze Headlong because I don't have a Draconic starter. Takes the Blaze Headlong. Do you want to take the Hot on their heels too? That'd be pretty cool. Blocking with the 1 cost makes me think that Cindra has other 1 costs. And especially if they are sitting on breaking point. As much as possible, I don't want to arsenal something. We're going to play the display loyalty. Happy birthday tomorrow then. Thank you. I will accept the birthday greetings today. It's close enough. If I was a worse person, I would say this is my birthday week. But I'm a better person than that. I choose not to. It's like a kick or clutch moment. You can't lose now. Give me another card for me. Yeah, this Cindra is very committed to blocking. And I gotta say, I've been here. I have done this. If you watch my live stream with Daily Played Investments last week, we played 13 games in the Cindra Mirror. I lost 9 of them. Just based on like trying to be defensive and trying to stop the other Cindra from drawing. And you just can't. You save your boots for a dagger. If they don't pitch a blue, you have to soul read that they need the resource. You save your shelter for the discard effect. Again, having to soul read that they need the resource with Vest. But like, I'm not blocking this. I'm going to give Cindra the draw. And then I get to... Now it's a little more interesting, depending on... If I had had the shelter, I would have 100% used it there. This is a little more of fire. Sick. I don't even have to worry about a mask trigger. We just take this. I get to bank both of my fealties here, go 3-4-4. Depending on how Cindra blocks, even auto win, yeah, that's what it feels like. I mean, if Cindra's blocking, am I supposed to just go 3-4-4 or do I go 3-3-4? It's got to be 3-4-4. That was a dumb question. That didn't make any sense. Send the 4 here. If she has the D-React, that's pretty good, but I still have Flick. I'm going to be able to buy back my daggers. She says no. At this point, yeah, we send the 4. If she gives me 2 cards to stop the Demo Devo, she also has to give me a card to stop the Burning Blade Dance. Tell them they might need to refresh. Trigger Mask. Ignite is a card I will play here because I don't want to keep this arsenal if I can help it, but I'm not super excited to see it. What it does let me do is Ignite, Dagger, Burning Blade, Flick, and then if the Burning Blade hits, I get to flick my other dagger and buy them both back. I really want to stay off of an arsenal if I can, because I don't want to give Cindra breaking point value. And I want to just establish as much of a life lead as I can. If I can put Cindra down to 12 here, it just puts me in such a commanding position to say, here's all, no blocks. I will kill you on the next turn. Got a 3/4/4 better. Yeah, just trying to think, like, how is Cindra going to block this? Blocking again. Got yourself a deal. I get to flick. I don't need to vest. I am sort of at a point where I'm thinking, should I just be vesting to daggers just to get value from vest before I end up needing to block with it at some point? But at some point I want to draw Wrath, or I'm going to draw Wrath, and I want to make sure that I have 2 daggers out for it. It blocks early and almost none now. Yeah. Dragon Blood is fine. I'm gonna take a bunch of damage. This hand is good. This hand lets me do Ignite, Dagger, blue one time. No. Empowerment off the top. Well, now we know about that. You may have your draw. Snatch. Yeah, you can't play the Ancestral on it. You're just going to take the IP. This hand does Ignite, Dagger, Vest, Demo Devo. Somewhere I'm going to throw Dagger into Lava Burst. Maybe I'm supposed to block with Flight Path here just to have blocked with Flight Path. Oh, you vested. That's how you got the resource. Like, am I crazy? You have 2 Draconic Links. Oh. Oh. You were supposed to arsenal something. Let's give him the do you want to undo. All right, well. You don't have the shelter, so yeah, I get to do 2, 1, 4. They would have arsenaled the Rising Resentment. Yeah, they just forgot to arsenal. We're going to rip a Ronin off the top. They're not going to get to keep this hand. I get to go 3, 4, 8, 9, 12, 16, 21. All right, well, yeah, I would have got there. They were just blocking. Thank you, Nick. Tomorrow is my birthday. I lied to you all, but I'm not streaming tomorrow, so I put it up today. Into another puffin. Well, I'm 100% into puffins for the day, so this is all still correct. I will go first. Yeah, that seems right. Maybe that's why the other puffin scooped. She said she was going first and she wasn't supposed to. This hand is not good. What does this hand do? Oath, Dagger, Dagger, Lava Burst. Dagger, Dagger, Fire Tenant, Lava Burst. This is a weird one. I'd like to have fun. I could just filter cards and arsenal something, but I really want to push in case Puffin has non-blocks. Let's Oath and see how they respond to it. I can still bail out here. I can just... You're going to give me armor? Hello? My opponent has a bunch of non-blocks in hand. Well, I guess we're sending. Send Fire Tenant. If this connects, I am going to Vest so that I can keep an arsenal no matter what. No. I mean, I guess there's a world where I Flight Path Breaking Point. That can't be right. No, we're too lost in the sauce. We're going to take our 3 damage. We're going to take our 5-card hand. We got Tinker Rings. Yeah, we're chilling. I'm going to Arsenal the Breaking Point because I want to hit Puffin's Arsenal at some point. Boom Grenade, Crank Draw, that's fine. I've never blocked. What lies? How do we trust you're even playing Cindra? It's true. This is just Fi in a dress. It's actually, this is Verdance with a change of clothes. What does this hand do? Just play 3/4/4, flick Breaking Point. Decided to shelf Prism for a bit. Now I need a meta relevant deck. I have decided to shelf Cindra, actually. I'll be playing her for this last week of ProQuest. I need a higher agency deck. And there isn't a higher agency aggro deck currently that I want to play. I could play Dio or Acilio, as I think the two like extremely skill dependent aggro decks in the format. But I don't want to do, I would rather just play Verdance. So I will be playing Cindra. This is a pretty good turn. I'll give you the Flight Path here. You're not going to Palantir me. I will be playing Cindra through the last week of ProQuest, and then I will be playing Viscerai for LL practice to take to Philly, and then I will be... This was an insane turn, by the way. This was really good. And then I will be playing Verdance, assuming that bans don't just kill her. Dio? No, I won't play Dio. I'm hearing Lupine should dress up as Cindra for Halloween and do a stream with it. Thank you, Keaton. My birthday's tomorrow. Hey, Rebel for 4. But I'm not streaming tomorrow, so I had to do it today. I don't need to flick knives here. I can threaten momentum again later. All right, now I will flick. Yes. Dio, I would like you to... Dio. Puffin, I would like you to give me cards, please. One way or the other. I'm still in not a great position. Vest has 2 charges on it. I don't regret using a charge last turn, but it does mean that my 1 costs are about to become much worse. Aggro decks aren't allowed to have agency. It makes them too good. Aurora died for our sins. I need to branch off from aggro until we get a new aggro Runeblade. It's also just, I should be expanding my horizons. I locked myself into this persona as an aggro-only player, and I don't think that's good or right. It was fine for learning Flesh and Blood and learning about value and how to be a good player. But at this point, I need to be... I'm fine to just be a best deck gamer. This hand is almost interesting. Should blow everyone's mind to play Pleiades. There's the Poly. I like that my opponent is playing things that don't do anything. I like that my opponent banished a Palantir. So the follow-up is going to be Spitfire for 3. It's still pretty good. I will be giving my opponent a Balance of Justice trigger. Attack Puffin. I am going to flick Vest, kill Poly, assuming I don't rip a blue at some point. I have to Ancestral here. I have to Ancestral here. Yikers, this is not ideal. Yep, you balance. We really needed things with go again. This is bad. Well, now I don't need to vest. What happens when your hyper-consistent aggro deck struggles? What happens when your hyper-consistent aggro deck isn't hyper-consistent? This feels terrible. That also feels bad. Yeah, this is... We have lost the game. Puff and Cindra is definitely a race, and our opponent has drawn much better than we have. Like, this is trash. That was so bad. That's... We needed this. Cog in the machine just replaces itself. This hand is pretty good if I get to keep it. I get to go Brand, Blood, Hunt the Hunter, Boots, Breaking Point. We're taking 8 here. Like, I'm not going to block until Puffin shows me that I need to. Especially if it's... Oh, because you have the extra action point. You're going to Spitfire for 2. Am I supposed... Draconics are not... Non-Draconics are not hyper-consistent in Cindra. They are when you have a fealty, which we just didn't get this turn. I need to take all this damage because this hand does threaten lethal. Sort of. Maybe not. Depending on what we draw, it definitely does. And I am going to get to bank a fealty out of the deal. Play Hunt the Hunter. You are now marked. Feel free to rock this list. What did you send me, Nick? All right. I do enjoy getting blocks. No. Break my boots. Give Hunt the Hunter go again. Play Breaking Point. Draw a card. That's a pretty good one. Hopefully I'm not just dead. This hand kind of blocks, I guess. Skimmer for 4, go again into Spitfire. Did the link not show up on your end? No, I probably don't have links enabled. I get to block with Vest hot on their heels. You're gonna give this go again. I'll give you Mask of Momentum. What are you? Oh yeah. Give it go again. Give you Mask. What did you send me, Nick? I can already tell you I'm not playing Pleiades. It is not, as I'm telling you, I want to play meta decks that are better. I will not be playing Pleiades Superstar. Pinion Sentry, that doesn't feel great. So take a look at the RKO. I will potentially be playing RKO, but also just for funsies. I am playing meta shit. I am a meta gamer. I do like seeing Zipper hit. I get to send 8 more damage. We're going to take Puff to 2 if I can put her into flick range. Okay, you get to make gold, but you don't get to crank. So no defensive drawing. I get to send Blaze headlong. Maybe I could have arsenaled this and just assume that Puffin with 1 card won't do much to me. I would have gotten to buy my dagger back anyway. Soup up for 4, go again, and God, that's pretty good. What do I get to do? I think we're blocking with Wrath. The soup up here is pretty good. Yeah, for funsies RKO, there's a few surprises in that list. Yeah, there are a few. I know a few guys working on RKO. You can go to 1. Block with the Rising Resentment. Dagger, Dagger, Fealty, Rabble, Flick, Cindra, Dagger. Sends 3/7. Ah, for 3. All right, well, then it kind of didn't matter. We're a little punished for not having that Blaze Headlong because I won't get to buy back my dagger this turn, whereas I would have if I had still had the Blaze Headlong to be a Draconic Link. 4, Puffin has to block this. I'm going to flick anyway. For go again is pretty good. I do need to give my Flick Knives here, and we're going to give Burning Blade Dance. Okay. That might be the... never mind. What does this hand do? 7 seems good. We're just going to block like that. I don't... I mean, I guess there's no harm in doing this. I'm going to bank a fealty anyway. I stay fealty neutral. See how many cards Puffin gives me? She needs to give me 1. She could give me 2. Double Copper Cog draw. Spitfire for 3. We have an opening. What do I do with this hand? I get to do block here. Surely that's wrong. Surely I'm supposed to block here. No, we block here because if she only puts 3 in front of the Blaze Headlong, I get to throw dagger and kill her. Technically tomorrow, Nico, but thank you. But I'm not streaming tomorrow. Blaze Headlong for 4 go again. Are you going to be super greedy? You are. We did it. We got there. We cheesed our way to a win. Thank you, Throw Dagger. Especially because our draw was terrible. And Puffin had the nuts. Dovetail into Cogworks with 2 active cogs was pretty spicy. You need to disclose that information on your stream title. You know there's a birthday command. If you used the birthday command that I told you about, then you would know. Anything exciting happening in my teams? No. That's good. Another Pleiades superstar. I do like playing Pouncing Links instead of Momentum. That was great advice that I was given in the last Pleiades game. We're setting up breaks because I don't respect Pleiades or her ability to disrupt me. That's illegal. Happy birthday farming. I'm probably streaming on Wednesday too because I'm taking the day off work, and I will also be calling that my birthday stream. I don't care about D-React. Warmongers is not good. Dragon Scale doesn't do anything. You said that I'm going first. This hand is interesting. 60 cards, super defensive, so you're just playing Life. I am going to send 3/3/4. I might not flick here because I can't buy both my daggers back, or I can't buy my dagger back without using Vest. I don't know that I want to buy Vest back this early in the game. Ooh, CNC, I like that. Especially if you're giving me a CNC, I will probably just park this Rake. And I want to have both of my daggers available. We'll be old by then and need the boost. True, I am turning 35 tomorrow. I'm practically a senior citizen. When the people I'm playing Flesh and Blood with are like 10 years younger than me, it's not a great feeling, I'll be honest with you. Maybe a Blaze Headlong? Well, I definitely feel better about arsenaling this Rake. Yeah, this is fine. I will just pass. I do... As of Encore? It's going to do something. Do I need to pitch Pain in the backside to a dagger? You're not that old, are you? I am 35. I'm ancient. The problem with Pain is the Pain is not going to hit, and I don't have a way to make it hit. Unless I did, like... There is not a way to make the Pain hit. I'm not blocking this. You can get back your thing. That's fine. You are allowed to play Tension in the Air. Ooh, you're going to give me 2 reds for it? Now you're super allowed to give me Tension in the Air. Rake gives you Go Again. Rake gives me Go Again on Blaze. The thing is, Blaze gets Go Again from the Rake over the coals. Yeah, Rake gives you Go Again. Yeah. The problem is I can't sequence this turn so that I do, like... I need the Hot on Their Heels to connect. Then I need to flick a dagger to Devotion. I don't have a way to get Rake's on hit over so that I can use Vest without having to flick. That's what I want to avoid doing. And I don't have a way to avoid doing that. So I think what I'm doing is playing the Blaze, and also just Arsenal Pain in the backside. I think I'm playing the Blaze. My opponent is going to say, do you want to undo? I'm going to say no, because I'm practicing for a tournament, like, oh, I forgot. Got him. It's like when you play against Bravo players, you know, when they existed, and they would pitch 2 blues and attack with, like, I don't know, something that only cost 4, and you'd say, oh, hey, you know, you forgot to Bravo activation for Dominate. Like, you should have done that. And they're like, sorry, I'm just practicing for my event, because, like, we all know. Do I need to Lynx this turn? I could Lynx this turn. If I Lynx this turn, I'm grabbing Lava Burst. For 6, I don't think I need to. I don't think I, like, need to get my value that much. We'll do the Hot on Their Heels. I'm going to flick. I'm assuming the flick will connect. I'll cheat a resource. I'll play Demo Devo. Demo Devo will make a fealty. I'll use the fealty. I'll play Pain in the backside to get my 4. Oh, wait. Whoops. Sorry. I have to flick here because I need a resource. That was the whole thing. I just said that out loud. Please don't have shelter. Thank you. If it makes you feel better, last week was my birthday. I am 42 now. We're a dying breed. People who remember 9/11 in Flesh and Blood. It's a dying breed. Because the more people I talk to at events, the more they're like, oh, I was alive in 2001, but I was 6 months old. It's like, oh my God. Mom is Gigafine as Divergence. They don't block as much. Oh, and Pleiades? Yeah. Okay. This is fine. Break my fealty. There's a world where I don't have to break my fealty, and I just bank 5 cards because I'm pretty convinced that Pleiades can't disrupt me. But I would rather just send the damage while I have it. I was 5 years old. Yep, exact. That's what I'm saying. I do not need to vest. Still have the same question. Do I want to just get in? I don't, because Pleiades here doesn't really have an incentive to keep this last card. They're just like Titan's Fist me or park it. If I'm going to Lynx, I would rather Lynx next turn when the tension in the air is going to go off. And I want to bait Pleiades into just taking some damage. This is a hand of cards, and it does things. Just going to go pain, maybe Hot on their heels, Arsenal the Ronin Renegade, and just say you don't have a Diria, or you don't have CNC. It was a very weird day. I remember I went from school to my cousin's house, and it was all over the news. You should probably cosplay old him instead. I know. But somewhere that 35 to 40 is the peak, and the body declines from there. Real fun stuff. I've got, and I could probably count on one hand, the nights of sleep. The nights of a full 8 hours I've gotten since I turned 26. For whatever reason, it was 26 that I really started to just fall apart. Don't know why. Don't know why that was the time. Turning point, you were cheered. That's pretty good. You have confidence. I feel like I'm supposed to just do this. I am supposed to just play out the hand now. Like, yeah, I'm gonna respect the CNC. Do I need to break Pouncing Links? I can wait. There's a world where I break Links here because I didn't fealty one of these pain in the backside. So if I flick, I can't buy back my dagger, which I think I'm fine to do anyway. Like, I will not have... You have a good mattress? I have a good mattress. I have a good pillow. Do I want to... I do want to flick. I'm not going to vest. Do I break Pouncing Links here? Just say you're not blocking it. Still think the answer is no. No. I'm going to wait for the next rake. Sorry, I can't Cindra. That was the whole thing that I just said. This hand is pretty okay. Tunic into... We got him. CNC for 10. What does this hand do? This hand does... Dragon... Oh, I'm going to bank a fealty. Yeah. So I get to do... Dragon Blood... Dragon Fire. Dragon Blood, Hot on their heels, Dragon Fire, Breaking Point. It's pretty okay. Yep, you have CNC'd me. Only the finest for the birthday prince. I do have a pretty good mattress. You gotta invest. I was given the advice at one point in my life, don't skimp on the things that you put between yourself and the ground. So car, bed, shoes. I mean, you could definitely expand it to like your house. Sorry, Heaven. I got to turn off Nightbot. I saw your message before it was so rudely deleted. Steven, I saw you got some new screen time in the new Fab promo bit. I was wondering where that high-quality picture of Steven came from. He looks so good. Yeah, invest in your floor, whether that be carpeting or hardwood. I will vest here, or I will flick. You have to be continued me. That's fine. So I am flicked. Oh, the Hot on their heels hit. That's sick. Because they didn't block it. I didn't need to flick there then. I also don't need to Pouncing Links. because I have other things to do. So I break my fealty. Dragon Fire. My God, what a nightmare, my most public failure. But you look so good. Steven, you're like the not pro player who gets the most coverage. You've had 2 streamed games. You're in promotional content. Everyone in California knows who you are. Yudo has revealed multiple games of yours. You are truly living the life that many pros don't get to live. Okay. Does that mean I want to play this breaking point? Or do I want to sit on it? No. Make a fealty. Activate Cindra. I think I am going to play the breaking point. Just so I don't get CNC'd again. Oh, right, I have to break my boots. Yeah, that's fine. I screwed this up somehow. This is whatever. Titan's Fist for 4 means that I don't need to block with Oath. I can go Oath, Ronin, Fealty, Ancestral, and the Oath just like pays for a dagger. The only promo video I have is a full comment section yelling at Hemel for messing up the math. That's still pretty awesome though. These are still alive, which is a problem. I think I just take this. I'm in the driver's seat and I need to just push. This is the first time you would be dealt damage, prevent? Yeah. Sitting here thinking you and what resource? Did I only have 2 Draconic Chainlinks? I don't know where something happened here. Oh my God, you have the what happens now. I'm like, where are you getting these resources? That's right. Pleiades is doing the thing. All right, so we go Fealty. We go Ancestral Empowerment. Without any sort of prevention, that is going to clear the floating prevention from to be continued, or she can T-react. If she can't cover the extra 1, I clear the floating prevention from to be continued. You needed 1 for Breaking Point. Breaking Point would have... These don't stack though. So you have just... I mean, this is fine. I just cleared both pieces of prevention from to be continued. Breaking Point would have gotten discounted from Art of Dragon Fire. Or Art of Dragon Blood. Yeah. No, it was the flight path didn't let me target something to give go again. So I feel like I somewhere missed a step. Now I get to flick. Do these not stack? Am I stupid? I feel like I'm crazy here. I didn't think that I thought that these did stack. They wouldn't like, this would prevent the first instance and this would prevent the second instance. I thought that they both only prevented 1 instance of damage. But I don't play Pleiades, so you're gonna move this to here, question mark? I like Pleiades just kind of does things, and they don't make sense. Do I want to break Lynx here? Lynx and Boots, and get 5 extra damage? Again, I think the answer is no. I have full tempo at this point. I could pitch Brand. And this turn is probably just Dagger, Rising Lava Burst. How many Lava Bursts have I seen? This is my first one, so I don't need to worry about getting this back into my deck for pouncing Lynx. I could also Dagger, pitching the Brand, Rising Throw Dagger. That seems pretty okay. Let Pleiades decide how she wants to deal with her floating prevention. Getting Buckler here is great. I wish Talishar had a display of the to be continued effects. That's going to eat the first one. This Flick Knives will eat the second one, and then Throw Dagger should be live. It should work at this point, question mark? Unless my opponent has the third one. Oh no, my mouse is dying. Do you have the third one? Or I guess another Oasis. Hey, that's a card that I can put in my arsenal. No, I do not want to counter. Maybe I'm supposed to go with Lynx here. Just assuming that my opponent clearly does not want to block this turn. Move that onto what happens next. Or not, I don't know. Oh no, it did. Okay, great. Tunic Spinal Crush? That's pretty got. That's pretty good. I just give you Vest here? I kind of don't want to, though. Having the 2/2 blocks here is a little unfortunate. Probably just block like that, send Rabble. I don't need to... I'm ahead in this game. I don't need to get too crazy with how I'm blocking stuff, or like giving up my Vest to make sure that I can deal 4 more points. I'm okay. Showing Rake on top is potentially interesting. Does not pair well with Ancestral without something to put it on. Getting Skullcap here is fine. I need to get it from Pleiades at some point. No. I'm glad I pitched my Yellow Brand, because depending on what my next hand looks like, I might need Mask to find Yellow Brand for the Ancestral turn. Oh, this hand is gross, except that I have to block. So I'm going to lose 2 cards. I'm going to lose 2 cards. I'm going to top another one, which means I'm going to top... This is interesting. So I can discard, top, play Blood, Ancestral it, park the Rake. And continue trigger happens twice, that is correct. So you don't get dealt damage. Yeah, I thought I read somewhere that they did like stack. We'll take 8 here. Red Boulder Drop is pretty good. I mean, if this attacked for 6, it isn't like I'm like, oh, I can do that. I would still be taking these effects. So I'm going to go that. I'm going to top that. I'm going to play Dragon Blood. I don't love how much armor my opponent has left. There's also maybe an extremely greedy play putting the Rake on top. If I don't draw a Draconic card, like maybe I was just supposed to top the brand so that I would have a Draconic starter no matter what. No. Park you. Boulder Drop for 7. You're not showing me the possibility of Pummel. Yeah, if we had a Draconic starter here, this hand would be much better. As it is, I have to pitch Demo Devo. Top Rake. We cheese. I do make a resource because I need to dagger again. Try to get more blocks out of our opponent before we go display Lava Burst. I will break Mask here if I can, if I'm allowed to. I will also flick Break Vest, activate Cindra, buy back Kunai, and attack with it. I need to take cards away from my opponent. That's my whole goal this turn. We will flick. I will Vest. Oh my god. We win? Dagger, Lava Burst, Boots, Lava Burst. Surely opponent's supposed to give Tunic or Iron Fist there. Like, blocking out is her top priority. Knowing that we have links on the board. This is just a little late, I think. Are you going to turn a face down card with Crush? No. Lava Burst for 6. There's the CNC. Boots the Lava Burst. See if our opponent has 3 block, 1 block. Go to 1. I just need to be able to start my... Okay. We get to go Brand, Fire Tenant, Display, Cindra, Ignite, Dagger, Flick. Probably sequence that slightly differently. Happy birthday, dude. Hopeful to see you at Worlds. You will see me at Worlds. I will definitely be there. I will not be playing in Worlds. I was not fortunate enough to qualify on ELO or with a PTI, but I need to do this, which means I missequenced. I was supposed to play the Fire Tenant first, so that the Brand would get +1, so that she couldn't just do this. Bunch of stuff happens. That's fine. We attack with Kunai, which now has to be covered by a full card. Display Loyalty lets me flick and keep a dagger in case she somehow manages to stay alive. And we got it. Close one for sure. Close one. The double to be continued is really strong. It felt really good into me. That was spooky. All right, these are the kind of sequencing puzzles I need to be given. You know, went 3 and 3 at my Pro Quest yesterday, and some of that was, at least one of those losses was just poorly sequencing. Not playing my big Wrath turn correctly, not breaking my boots to get 2 more damage, which ended up killing me later as the Florian lived at 1. This hand is almost good enough to Wrath. I am probably, I mean, depending on what Puffin does, I might need to just block. If I can keep Wrath, I will. But if Puffin just passes, then I am going to Arsenal the Wrath. Just send Rabble Blaze hot on their heels. Not flick because I can't buy my dagger back. I guess I could use Vest. This is not going to be a long game. I don't know, Lee, if you're still in chat, how do you feel about vesting to buy your daggers back in aggro mirrors? because it feels, on the one hand, you want to get your vest value over the course of a short game. On the other hand, you just end, oh my god, you're going? My guy. I will block. On the one hand, you want to get your vest value. On the other hand, you want to make sure that you're hitting your breaking points. Clockwork Zeppelin for... I mean, I'll give the Wrath here. As much as I want to keep the Wrath, I will give the Wrath to prevent 3 damage and 4 more, because my Puffin is insane. With only 1 untapped cog, she cannot make this 6, or she can't make this 7 unless she's going to give Unicycle. And I am very happy to give 5 points of life for my Puffin opponent to not have an arsenal and not have Unicycle, if she decides to go for this. Yep, this is totally fine. Like, I start the game at 35, which is unfortunate, but Puffin has already sacrificed quite a lot to make this happen. What does this hand do? Not a lot, unfortunately. The Warmongers feels kind of whatever at this point. I think this is just Dagger, Dagger, Pain, Lava Burst, Flick, Rebuy, Arsenal, Fire. Much as I would like to play the Warmonger to screw up Puffin, it's a little less good because she doesn't have gold anymore. But without her having Unicycle, she has to put a full card in front of Pain in the backside, or I get to draw. I will have resources and Draconic Links to break my flight path if I need to. Let's just see how she's going to deal with Pain in the backside. I have a good follow-up either way. I don't need to use my Blood Splattered Vest. There's an argument for following Pain in the backside with Art of Dragon Fire, because Lava Burst will be easier to get value out of. That's not a great draw, which means I am probably looking to break Flight Path here, play Lava Burst to get my value from it, break Flight Path, play Fire, so I'm sending 10 here, and then arsenaling the Oath of Loyalty. Do I need a resource? I don't. I will only have 1 dagger, but that's okay. Yeah, the Oath of Loyalty draw here is not ideal. Our ideal draw would have been like Demonstrate Devotion or Display Loyalty. Even Brand with Cinderclaw would have been sick. If I drew Brand with Cinderclaw, I get to go Brand, Dragonfire, Arsenal, Lava Burst, and we feel pretty good about that. Breaking Flight Path here to, 1, get my full value this turn, 2, not IP myself in a race matchup. Sadly not getting the bonus from Dragonfire, but I'm pushing a ton of damage, which I feel great about. Puffin is already a little down on armor. I get to rebuy my daggers because of the Lava Burst. So I'm feeling pretty okay. I still have a 5-card hand. My Mask is still alive. I don't have Wrath anymore, so I'm not as committed to keeping multiple daggers. This hand plays itself really well. If Hot on Their Heels hits and I mark Puffin, I get to make the fealty that will let me play Fire Tenant Strike first with Oath of Loyalty effect. I can always just pitch Fire Tenant to a dagger depending on what I draw off the top of my deck. Already meeting over. I'm in. Steven, I'm going to stop streaming soon. I mean, not for a bit. I still want to do some streaming, but we needed you to be done with your meeting earlier, my guy. What am I trying to bring up? I've lost a window here. There it is. Cogwork Zeppelin for 6. You have the action point, so you're going to make this 7. Do a call. I mean, I'm not blocking this. gonna make the 7 to a cog. Please don't Palantir me. That would be so sad. Although you can't actually untap your, cannot turn on Palantir. You make this 8 and don't get the effect. I'm down. I guess actually Palantir doesn't matter because I still have to give equipment without boots. So sad. I will give my vest if it comes down to that. And then, oh my God. Our puffin has flown too close to the sun. Okay. This hand just plays itself, which is clearly very good. Like, this is a fine hand of cards, but it does speak to the agency problem I was talking about much earlier at the start of the stream, which is I don't really have a choice of how to play this hand. It just plays itself. So blocking 4 here, I'm going to follow with hot on their heels, which is something you kind of want to block. If Puffin blocks this, then I have a lot more agency in how I play the rest of this hand, as much as I just said I don't have agency. I could pitch to dagger. No, sorry, I do need to play hot on the... I do need to flick here. I want to force Puffin to block more of my turn. And I will be able to buy my daggers back. I don't need a counter. I have 2 Draconic Links, so this is my 3rd. We can follow up with this. Puffin gives me armor, which I'm pretty okay with. Play Ronin here just to maximize my hand. Buy back my daggers, Arsenal Fire Tenant. I feel comfortable that I'm pretty far ahead in this game. Puffin does have cogs. I don't have a fealty, so I cannot turn on Dragon Blood, but I can get to the Rupture for Breaking Point. I mean, I could just pitch. I could vest after flicking. What I'm hoping I can do is hit with a Rising Resentment. I'm not going to throw a Rising Resentment at Polly. I could do that if I really thought the Rising would not hit. I could throw one at Polly, but I think what I can do is Fire Tenant, Rising. Puffin doesn't have any armor left, so she either gives me 2 cards to stop the Rising, or the Rising just hits. Sorry, it needs to be Rising, Fire Tenant, Rising. I'm going to flick a dagger, get a resource with Vest. I'm going to send my remaining dagger at Polly, get my resource from Vest that way, also kill the Polly. Shit. Well, that's certainly different. So I don't get to do any of that anymore, which means I'm giving you momentum. Much as I want the momentum, I'm going to get more value out of my vest than I will out of momentum this game. It frees up Puffin to not have to block as much, but I am just going to send a bunch of damage. And I need to keep my Flick Knives and Vest for the turn that I'm putting together. Thanks for the game, Mr. Fiasco. I was the Pleiades. That was such a close game. I also didn't know that what happens, or to be continued, I thought they were both used on the same effect. So I was so confused of like, how are you preventing 2 Flick Knives or whatever? So I probably misplayed based on that. But that was a very well played game. Yeah, I was pretty confident that I was winning kind of no matter what, and no, I was in fact put into difficult positions many times. Oh wait, sorry, I do need to flick here so that I can kill the Polly. Yes. So those are not sure, but might as well find out. No, that was a very well played game. It was very spooky. Very spooky stuff from a hero that I thought was kind of just free. I played a Pleiades earlier today and it did not go well for them. It went great for me. Yeah, in our game, I was concerned that you play the Boulder Drop Terra Sunder, and I topped the Rake Over the Coals in my hand so that I could Dragon Blood Ancestral, put the Rake into my arsenal, and said out loud, I was probably supposed to top a brand with Cinderclaw so that I have a Draconic starter, and then just drew this hand where I'm like, this doesn't function if I don't hit with a dagger. So that was very scary, and it paid off because you unfortunately were higher on life than me, so your Skullcap only blocked 1. If your Skullcap had blocked 2, I just lose the game without that brand. So yeah, that was it was very close. This hand is great if I don't need to block. I get to do Brand, Blood, Fire Tenant, Display, Flick, Vest, Rebuy, Dagger, Warmongers. This is coming for 7 with Go Again. I'm not blocking this. I kind of can't. Like, how I don't have a way to turn off the, I guess it's coming for 8. No, sorry, 7. Cindra's decent if I can get TBC out early. Yeah, they were good. They were very good. Super strong. I think I misplayed into one of them just based on not knowing how the prevention effect worked. But yeah, it was spooky. T-Bone. It's rude. So I'm going to 2 here. And live with that. I think I'm still supposed to play this Warmongers just based on the copper cogs. Could be 8 if they wanted. No, so it can't be 8 because the effect is 3 per turn. I know what you're thinking, which is make it 8, hit, untap the cogs, tap to give it Go Again. But because you can only use the effect 3 times, you cannot give it Go Again after untapping the cogs if you've made it 8. That trick only works if you tap 2 cogs. If you only have 2 cogs, that trick works the way that you think it does. It doesn't work that way otherwise. So this is 2, 6, 9, 13, 14 Warmongers. So my opponent is going to give me 3 cards. I guess I should have blocked with the Warmongers then, considering that they have to give me 3 cards to not be dead. Because what are they doing with the last card? No, don't worry about it. I have done the same thing. I've made the same mistake with Puffin and Palantir. Depending on how this gets blocked, I guess what I'm now doing with the Warmongers is just flicking Cindra-ing and pitching the Warmongers to attack with daggers. Okay, so yeah, I just get Cindra's hand. Or get Puffin's hand. I go down to 0 daggers, which is sad for me, but I am stripping the hand. Puffin is losing a cog. Fast and the Furious, let's see, was I going to be punished? Oh, I actually, so that I'm... Oh, okay, we just went. I guess I missequenced that turn. I did have a way to sequence based on pitching the Warmongers where I could have attacked with the dagger, then flicked it, then bought both back. So I guaranteed win that turn. But with Oath of Loyalty, Fealty, I get to go Oath, Fealty, Pain, Ignite, respond to the Ignite trigger, get my daggers back, dagger, Ignite, dagger, flick. Okay, so we were just, we got there no matter what. But yes, I could have won that turn with better sequencing. Hey, Sheeples, thank you. Technically, my birthday is tomorrow, but I'm not streaming tomorrow, so I wanted to, get credit for it today. This matchup is horrendously bad. I'm very afraid of Dio. Playing the same list, the same sideboard plan as we were into What's-Her-Face, Puffin. But this matchup is horrible. This is a pretty good start. I don't have a very easy way to cheat out Breaking Point. So I have to do what? I mean, I think I'm just doing Brand Display Warmongers, especially with this processor on the table. I don't get to threaten Mask of Momentum, unfortunately. Play the display. I am going to flick. I don't think I need my daggers. Play the Warmongers. This is going to stuff the processor. They choose war. I'm not surprised. We immediately get punished by drawing this Wrath. Why, yes, I would like to take a boom grenade to the face. I mean, I don't want to, but I'm going to. His hand is pretty nuts, though. So I get to... Nice to see you on stream. Thank you. Paulison? Paulison? Help me. How do? Yes, I will just take a ton of damage. That's deal. Heist, thank God. This is just 5. It means my breaking point doesn't have text, unfortunately, but it also means that I don't have to care about blocking this. I'll speed up the Jarl game plan a bit in this meta, but I learned a lot. Yeah, Ian, that was a great game. Yeah, I think there is a spot for Fatigue Jarl in the meta. Maybe not our local meta as much. Do I want to set up this Wrath, or do I want to just throw it? I get to do Rising, Ignite, Wrath, Dagger, Display, Flick, Cindra, Dagger, Boots, Dagger, Vest, Breaking Point. I think I'm just throwing it, right? There's no world where I'm supposed to, like, Paulson. That makes sense. I don't think there's a world where I'm supposed to slow roll this Wrath. I don't think I have time. Although deal with only 4 cards and no arsenal is, I don't know, technically less scary. She does need to block this, or I draw with Mask. I am going to get to threaten Mask again this turn. Get to go Dagger. That's great. Yeah, aggro decks can run you over. You need to really be on top of who wins. Who win cons Earth Heroes can foster to... I assume pitch stop. Steven, what are you saying? In the display loyalty, I'll flick here. No. Cindra. Dagger, dagger. I get to decide how greedy I want to be. I could throw the breaking point here, but I think I just need to maximize damage. I'm also going to maximize not stumbling this game, which means that I'm going to... Okay, so she does interrupt. So I'm just pushing damage. I'm going to maximize damage, but keep this kunai. So I'm just sending 2 and then 5. I could have kept this in Arsenal. I just don't really like that plan. I want to be up 10 points to her 11. She doesn't have very much armor left. Unfortunately, she is going to have the plating with Processor. All right, this hand does some nice things. I don't really get to cheat as much. Give you Mask, unfortunately. I need Flick with Vest so that I can, I guess, hunt the Hunter. The 2/1 costs here is a little awkward. Oh, that sucks. Oh my god. Put a counter on the Processor. I guess that makes the Adaptive less appealing for her. Spark for Boom Grenade. Oh, for Protocol. Get back. Heist. For Processor? Jesus. Heist for Processor means that I'm probably just blocking 5. Or Processor for Heist means I'm probably blocking 5. Maybe my line with the breaking point was too greedy, and I was supposed to throw it to threaten Mask. Yeah, I need to block this Heist, unfortunately. I cannot let that hit. Core off the top. Jesus, we've lost this game. Dio just doing Dio things. Spark of Genius remains a real card that is still really legal in the format. I think what I'm doing here is just playing these two. I'm going to flick Vest, buy back both my daggers. I mean, we're for sure dead, but we can maybe pretend that we aren't just dead to 5-card Cindra with Processor. Yeah, so I think I punted the Wrath turn. I was supposed to throw the Breaking Point to force Dio to give me cards or let me draw. This hand is pretty okay. It blocks a lot, which is nice. I'm just not blocking anything until Dio tells me I have to. Spark. Cool. That's fun. How do you feel about Warmongers in this matchup? I feel like it's literally the only thing I can do to get any sort of agency against Dio because Spark is just insane. Like, Spark should not be a legal card in Flesh and Blood with Crank. No, I think this is a losing matchup so much of the time. I just don't have, there's nothing I can do from this point. You need Dio to stumble, and my Dio has not stumbled. The only thing that I can do with Warmongers is try to stuff the Cerebellum Processor. Alright. Cool. That was a fun game. Did everyone else have fun watching that game? I'll be salty to a Dio. I don't mind that. Yeah, so Warmonger's in the Dio matchup. It's just the only thing you can do. If you're racing Dio, you're just hoping that she doesn't get there. That's literally it. That's your only line of play. So you try to do something. It's either that or do nothing, which I don't like. I would like to try to do something. Turns out being able to search for the exact card you need. So it turns out being able to search for the exact card you need and get your action point back and draw a card is really good. So what if you could just play a 0 for 4 with Go Again that replaces itself? Sorry, it's a 0 for 6 because it puts a counter on your gun. Is that strong? Do we think that should be legal when it wasn't designed to do that? We claw here, not that we wouldn't anyway, but again, don't let Kano spindle for 5. There were 2 Dios at the Pro Quest, and I didn't high roll either of them. I love seeing Mechanologist on the other end of Jarl. The Dio that I lost to in round 2 played 3 Spark of Genius in 3 turns. It's like, sick. That's really cool. 4 cards on top and 1 card. Oh, it was 6. Okay, I mean, I couldn't stop Kano from doing that, so I don't feel like I've misplayed in some way. This hand kind of sucks. So I am just going to Ignite, Dagger, Ronin, Pain, Arsenal the Brand, and just try to set up a high roll for my next turn. I got 1 Authority of Ataya this weekend. Do you think it's worth to play in Cindra or Aurora 2.0? I don't. I think it is not good enough in Cindra. You'll play it against the Earth Heroes, and that's it. And like, yes, they play a lot of D-React, but if they don't have one, you just have a bad blue in your deck. I really don't want to play bad blues in my deck. Lock for 3, that's fine. That means I'm probably now priced into playing the rest of my hand. Kind of depends on how Kano blocks here. This Aether Dart is coming in for 2. I can flick here. I don't need the resource. I have to play a little guessing game with Kano to decide if they can block 3 or not, because if they can't block 3, I'm just going to Arsenal this brand with Cinderclaw. Kano should not know what the top card of their deck is. I am not going to claw here because I want it for the potential wildfire at the start of my next turn. Yeah, it was the 3 block. Another Aether Dart is fine. I mean, I love to see Kano rip blues. It was supposed to bring out a piece of a gun. I know, Spark of Genius was balanced. It was a fine card when it was designed. It was like, it did aggro things, it did tutoring for gun. It did find your Teklo core and a random card for your arsenal against as boost. And now it just does too much. Now it should not do the aggro thing and replace the action point. It's too strong. And there's precedent for banning it. I have to play Ancestral here. I would like to flick, but I don't have another ninja card. That's sort of unfortunate. But I will be able to draw this turn. I need to flick because I need my resource. Yes. I get to hunt the hunter. See how Kano wants to block this? Okay. I'm still going to Flight Path because I would like to maximize my output this turn. And I make a fealty. We Cindra back our dagger. I get punished for not using my claw last turn. This is kind of bad. The double 1 cost here hurts without a way to discount them. I think Spark is a fine card because it requires to boost before you draw and you have to crank the item to get go again. So think about how that is so easy for Dash and how it plays into her game plan. Dash is boosting every turn. She's grabbing Spark of Genius or Backup Protocol, whatever she needs, both of which she is happy to have. And like this, it is no cost to her. She has flexibility in what she's grabbing. She replaces itself. I don't see an argument. I don't see that being the argument for it being an okay thing to have, because those are just all things Dio wants to be doing. I do need to vest. I guess I Breaking Point here. Not that, like, the Kano's going to go off, but I guess the Breaking Point forces them to do it. Like, there's a world where holding the Breaking Point is like, oh, Kano doesn't know if I'm holding Sigil of Solace. But I think I am supposed to just throw the Breaking Point and, like, force Kano to do it. Spark is easily a +2 card advantage. Yeah, I don't... If Dio didn't exist, I could see an argument for it in Dash IE just because Dash IE doesn't play items as well because she can't play them off the top. There's still the potential of Pistol Play and Dash, who actually is using Big Spark for, like, its intended purpose. But current Dio, I don't buy that argument. I think it is too easy for Dio to do the thing. There's the Wildfire. I get to claw it. We are in a nice position where Kano waited so long because I have 3 Draconic Links on the stack. I think Dio was supposed to respond to the Flick Knife, so I would have had to give this card instead of cheating a resource. Not that it matters, or they were supposed to do it in response to the Renegade. So you have 2 Kanos on the stack. You're going to... But no reason. You're going to rip Spindle? Cloak? Which means I think I am supposed to... Card on top, card on top, card on top. Right, none of that matters. You're going to rip the Spindle. You're going to cloak it. It's going to be Spindle for 8. I guess I'm supposed to... I don't think the claw here matters. Is it ceiling? But sometimes you know item left or you have to boost it away. If you have no items left, damn, that's... I mean, if you have no items left, then, like, the game has ended. Like, you're being fatigued. Again, I don't see how that's an argument for it being okay. What? Right to chat. Couldn't you have cloaked? Oh, sorry. I was thinking cloak, but forgot spindle costs 2. I always think Aether Spindle is a 1 cost. Your power cards are not worse because of the boost mechanic. Yeah, I agree. No, it's like saying you... I don't buy that argument either. That's just part of the deck, that you sometimes boost away your good cards. It's like saying you shouldn't play Max V because sometimes you boost away the Max V. And I think Deal without Spark is a much worse deck. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like she's clearly this meta-defining powerhouse that is running away with every tournament. She isn't. She is a worse deck without Spark. The precedent for banning Spark is it is based around it. It is so powerful now because it plays with an interaction that didn't exist when the card was created, which is Crank. They banned, what is this hand? This hand passes, right? Because it's Verdance and I don't want to let her filter. Crank didn't exist when Spark was created. Crank was not an inkling when Spark was created. And so they banned Scepter of Pain, and they specifically quoted the reason as being, we didn't know that Amp existed when we created this card. It wasn't planned. So Millennium Tree made it too good. And that's why they banned it. Spark should be banned because it didn't exist Spark should be banned because Crank didn't exist when it was created. Into Fatigue, I guess Spark is necessary, true. Do I need to claw this? What am I doing on my turn? I am going to Dagger, Rake, Rising Blaze, Pain, Dagger. I don't think I'm playing Throw Dagger. I can give the Claw here because I will be able to buy it back before I need to use it. I'm going to Rake here because, as Lee has been telling me in the chat, I just full send at Earth Heroes. I don't need to worry about playing around any of their nonsense. Am I breaking Mask this turn? I think the answer is no. I do want to prompt Verdance to be blocking my stuff ahead of the Pain in the backside. Like, I could break Mask here for 6. I just don't think I super need to. Submit, no Mask. How do I play around Stonewall? I do Pain because I'm going to have an extra resource. There's the Root Bound. You can Blaze Headlong here. I'm going to Flick. I will Cindra. I will Claw. I will pass. I've gotten punished too many times by not having a Kunai in the Earth matchup. So I'm not going to spend it for 2 more damage here, much as I'd like to. Still not breaking Mask, especially because I'm going to end my turn on Claw. Being able to play around the Stonewall there was very good. Getting the full value Rake is something that I need to be able to do. I didn't think about the sequencing before I started that turn, but thankfully the hand was good enough that I had a way to bail out. I will give you my Claw. Okay, we're doing Ronin into... I guess I can Ancestral here, just to know what the hand looks like. How much do I want to Rake this turn? I kind of don't. It's only getting 3. It's a question of how much do I respect You know what? I'm not going to worry too much about setting it up. I'm just going to throw a rake. I do not need to destroy Mask of the Pouncing Lynx. We'll flick. You have the mental block. That is unfortunate. Which means that I am just going to end the turn. So I was supposed to flick on the first chain link. Okay, thankfully this hand is very good. I was supposed to flick on the first chain link so that I would know if it was safe to try to cheat the resource. Thankfully, this hand is so good, I get to just play it out. It'd be nice if I had a rake here. I don't want to destroy Pouncing Lynx because I still want to get my value from Flight Path, and I am still intending to flick to play out my Hunt the Hunter. Ring of Roses makes sense as a block. She clearly doesn't need it anymore. I will Cindra. I will buy back my daggers. I'm going to flick Claw. And when we do get the resource, Sink Below on Rising is pretty good. Again, just playing out the hand. I'm not going to worry about arsenaling against an Earth Hero. I've only seen one Plow Under. No, I don't need to go balls to the wall this turn. I just have a fine turn. I would like to wait for another rake. I would like to at least block with my Flight Path before I fire it off. 15 points on a Verdance is pretty good. Maybe I was supposed to break it there so that Cindra can't get Barkskin value yet. Or Verdance, whichever hero this is, you know. This hand is very good. I will be blocking with my Flight Path. Cindra only banishing 2? That seems like a mistake. You're definitely supposed to banish another Earth card here, considering that you can still banish 3 Earth cards on the next Decompose. I have to Fealty, or else my display is not online. Rabble for 4, with the greatest Flesh and Blood players in the world. So this is going to be Rabble, Display, Pain, Lava Burst. At some point I'm flicking. I'm going to break Pouncing Lynx and get Lava Burst. There is counterplay to this line where Verdance could put Stonewall in front of the first Lava Burst and then the second Lava Burst gets worse. I don't need to make this Draconic. But I think I still have to go for Lava Burst here. The second Lava Burst because I don't want to Arsenal. I mean, depending on how she blocks. If she gave me 2 cards here or something. That's fine. Break Flight Path. Give Lava Burst go again. Lava Burst. I get to flick, buy back both my daggers. Take a super commanding life lead on Verdance. These are the Verdance games that I wish my locals could actually play. That Austin Kim and Majin Bay aren't just putting together like Erase Face CNC Felling, Erase Face CNC Felling. Like, give me more of the ones that just only throw arcane damage, please. Flick. I do not need to vest. Verdance to 3, buy back my daggers. Doing the Cindra thing to Verdance feels pretty good. I don't do enough of it because my Verdances just always draw the nuts. Hell yeah, brother. Let's go. This hand doesn't need Fealty, but I will use it because the game is almost over. I will bank a Fealty off of this turn, and I just want to make sure that my turn can be flexible. Showing a rake on top. Follow up with display loyalty. I will flick early so that I can potentially work more daggers into my turn. Yes. I will Cindra here. Buy back my daggers. I'm going to kunai. I guess this is actually really greedy. I didn't realize my opponent was at 1. This gets the hand, this gets Barkskin. Opponent gives us a good game. I'll give it back. Felling of the Crown quick rematch. Okay, I'll give it to you, Verdance. Pass. I always want to go first against Verdance because I don't want to get like Burn Bared Waning Moon on turn 0. I am always going to Arsenal. I don't want to give her the chance to filter. She discards a Fruits, which I will give it to her. If she discards 2 Fruits or Light Up the Leaves and another card, that I will then start sending damage. Because I don't want to give Verdance the chance to put Earth cards into graveyard on turn 0. But if she's going to put 2 into her graveyard and just keep 2 cards against my 4, especially if I can fully send it, then I will say, okay, I'll let you put more Earth in. You're going to take 10 points of damage on turn 0. But 3 cards in hand without the Fruits is not enough for me to say, okay, yeah, I'll send it. Especially because this hand is very medium. What this hand does, if I don't need to block, is kunai. Yes, I can give Claw here. You gonna moon me? This hand goes kunai, Fire Tenant, Rabble, Lava Burst, and I guess I Arsenal Hunt the Hunter? Yeah, if the dagger hits, I will cheat the resource. Okay, never mind. That's fine. I didn't need this dagger to connect. I'm going to go down to 0 daggers, unfortunately. I might not need to. If Verdance doesn't block this either, that'll eat the last point of prevention from the Rabble. All right, now the prevention is gone. So now the flick will connect, which means I can cheat the resource with Vest and buy both my daggers back that way. I was not supposed to Arsenal Hunt the Hunter, but I didn't put her on having the prevention. We flick. We Vest. I don't need to mask here. I could break my boots for Hunt the Hunter. I just really hate that plan without having blocked with my boots first. Every point matters against Verdance. So I don't want to just give value away. This hand is fine. This hand could do pretty interesting things if the Lynx connects. If I attack with Ronin and the Ronin hits, I break Lynx for Yellow Brand. I then play Pain in the Backside, Wrath, Dagger, Dagger, Flick, Cindra, Boots, Dagger, Hunt the Hunter. I can give Claw here. Otherwise, we're on Ronin, Pain. All right, you're gonna let me do it. Could go Ronin, Pain, Dagger, Vest, Hunt the Hunter, Flick, Rebuy, Arsenal. How does a flick affect that? Flick says that I'm just pitching Lava Burst for... I don't need to do this now. I can wait. This is fine. I'll also go Kunai, pitching the Lava Burst into Pain, into Wrath, Pain into Hunt. That lets me rebuy my daggers. I do like that quite a bit more. If Cindra has the Shelter here, then I'll pitch Pain to play Hunt the Hunter, which will give me the 3 Draconic Links to buy my daggers back and Arsenal Wrath. I am maybe slow rolling this turn in a way that I don't need to, or rather in a way that I shouldn't. But I'm also trying to play around Stonewall Gauntlet here. I don't super want to give my Pouncing Links just to get shut down by Stonewall Gauntlet. Verdance has so many Earth cards. Yeah, this might be a mistake. No. I could break my boots here into Wrath, Cindra, Dagger, Lava Burst. No, I'm gonna take the risky play here and just set it up. All right, we don't get punished. This is pretty solid. I'm not gonna give Claw here, because I have got a real scorcher coming up. This hand is lit, as the kids say. Starter? Oh my god, we're so in. We are up tremendous. Do I need to break links? I think the answer is no. Certainly not yet. Nope. Display loyalty. Play his headlong. That's a root bound. He's done it. Yeah, this hand is about to be insane. The Stonewall Gauntlet's going to be really good here at shutting it down, but I'm also going to connect with a dagger, which means I can vest. Right. I have to actually play the Wrath, which means I can vest to play the Dragon Scale at the end of the turn. Which means I also think I am probably... No, I'm not supposed to links here. It's tempting because I can make Verdance. You're not going to give me Gauntlet? Hello? We flick. How greedy am I supposed to be? Not very. Cindra. Yes. Flight Path. Kunai. Fealty. Scale. Verdance just gives me the last 2 cards in her hand. If this hits, I destroy Stormstriders. And I feel fantastic about it. You're just giving... you're giving me all of your armor? You're giving me Stonewall Gauntlets too? I don't want to say too late on the Gauntlets, especially if Cindra's really trying to keep these 2 cards. If she'd give me Stonewall Gauntlet, I would have proceeded with the same turn I took, except I would have broken the chain after this Kunai. Because Dragon Scale has nothing to do with your chain links. It just has everything to do with being Draconic. So I'm probably just getting Fellinged here. Which means that I am going to bottom Ignite. I'm in a weird spot where I can't actually use Ignite right now because I don't have my kunai, so I'm just going to brand, display, blaze, flick, Cindra. And I guess I'm looking to Lynx this turn. I'm pushing 11 damage right now. If I can make it 16, I think that's probably the best I'm going to get. I bank another fealty, which are always helpful. I get to start my next turn with a kunai, which is nice. We flick. I'm assuming D-React here. There's the root bound. Cindra is now, Verdance is now online. I at least get my daggers. Verdance isn't going to do anything with a single card, so I will get full tempo. This is a hand of cards. I can play Rake, but I can't play Scale. I can play one or the other, so I could go Oath, Display, because I don't have my chest anymore. I suppose I could look for an Ignite. Yes, I am going to look for an Ignite. So I am going to go Oath. Verdance is going to block in some way that will let me get full Rake value. Yep. Do you have the 1? Okay. Mental block is fine. So I'm in an interesting spot now where I can still fealty, Art of Dragon Scale. It'll come in for 6. Verdance gives me 2 cards. And we just reset. Or I could send Display Loyalty. Verdance gives me a card and I put this in my arsenal. Or I pitch it to Claw. I really needed her to not have the prevention there. I guess I also could have baited the prevention by flicking, let her mental block. You do have Decompose. I think it's probably right here for me to just reset. Send the Dragon Scale. Get Verdance's hand. She can't effectively use her Ponder. I guess she could if this is a D-React. Block with this, arsenal whatever of these 2 cards she wants, and then draw something. There's root bounce. You have to have other prevention, right? Okay, so I actually would have got either way. If I had baited the mental block, then she would have gotten me with the... I'll claw this. If I had played around the mental block, she would have gotten me with the shelter. So we just didn't have an out. I will fealty Dragon Blood. I have the Ancestral Empowerment. That is not great in this position. Do I need to flick here? Flicking just baits prevention. Wow, gamer. That's pretty good. I got there. Yeah, I'll destroy Pouncing Lynx. That was an active Dragon Scale? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to throw my kunai here. This Verdance has had really clutch prevention. It's been very difficult. His hand is almost good. His hand is now much worse. I'm going to bottom this demonstrate. I'm going to block 5 here. And I'm just going to arsenal this brand. And try to set something up. Hope that Verdance doesn't have the disruption. It's a good chance she does. I haven't seen plows yet. Oh no, so many 1 costs. That's brutal. This is the brutal part of playing Cindra when you don't have your vest anymore. It's all your 1 costs are just terrible. There's the plow. I mean, I'm not surprised that she had it. We'll block 6. I'm just going to throw Pain in the backside. Arsenal Demo Devo. This Verdance has had insane prevention effects. So you just, okay, you just didn't want those in your hand, right? Just throw Pain, get it out of my hand. D-React here is, you know, frustrating because I have a personal vendetta against the generic 4-block D-React, but it isn't like, oh wow, if she didn't have that, we would have gotten there. This hand sucks. Oh my god. This hand is terrible. We can try, but we're probably just dead to Striders. We need this hot on their heels to connect so I can make fealty. Okay. Sink below is fine. I didn't need the Blaze to connect as much as I just needed to have a fealty. Verdance, if you have it, you should just go. Did she sink? She did sink. So she was looking for the way to kill me. I assume now just waiting to have me play out all my stuff. So you can't kill me. Birthday dude, thank you, Malcor. Striders, wow, you're so cool. Oh my god. Wow, that's so cool. That's so impressive that you did that. Yeah, we had some clunkers. Verdance had very good prevention effects after this Wrath turn. Good game now. I'll always disrespect a Verdance in chat. Well, I've been streaming for about 3 hours. I'll do one more. I don't like to go out on a Verdance loss. I'll do one more. I'll definitely push it today. Just for all of you, just because it's my birthday stream. Ooh. Sorry guys, because, you know, we've been streaming for almost 3 hours, so it's really, I gotta pack it in, you know. This is, it's been a lot of fun. You know, I'm sorry we couldn't play out that last game, but I think we just had some connection issues there where it just wasn't gonna work out. You know, I really wanted to play Cindra Victor. That's a super fun game. Super fun for everyone involved. But I appreciate you all being here. Technically, it is not my birthday. Tomorrow is my birthday, but I won't be streaming. So I wanted to get it in today. I am planning a super bonus extra stream on Wednesday, which I will also call my birthday stream. So I'm just, you know, reaping all the rewards. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed these Cindra games. I would like to think that I learned something, worked on the sequencing, had some really well-played games, had a few games where we maybe punted a bit, a few games where we probably didn't do as well as we could have. I think that Verdance game might have been a little winnable, but it was a lot of fun. So thank you all for being here. I will put up the post for Wednesday, so you can all follow along with that. Also streaming Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard. I think that's going to be an LL stream as I start prepping for calling Philly. Also planning to stream on Friday morning at 10 a.m., same time as today. If you want to vote on what heroes I'm playing on those days, join my Discord. The link is in the description of this live stream. It'll probably be between, I think Wednesday is going to be a Kayo stream, just Kayo. Thursday will be Viscerai, but Friday I'm looking at either RKO or Puffin. Trying some of the new fun heroes. Don't need to super grind on Cindra the whole time. Thank you all for being here. I hope you had a good time. I definitely did. Catch me all of you catch me on Wednesday, same time as today. And until the next time I see you, take care.